joining us now is Executive Director of Trans Upfront Illinois, Asher McMaher. Asher, welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you for joining us today, but also thank you for all of the work that you do. You, my friend, are out there on the front lines. Like every time there's like a protest or a march or a rally, it's like, well, there's Asher. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just honored to do this work and have so many people behind us within our organization, partnered organizations, and I get to travel this whole incredible state and meet people and hear their stories and figure out how I can help uplift them and make sure that they know there are people still fighting for them, even in light of this administration.
Yes, 100%. And you are a beacon of light in light of this administration. Can you remind folks a little bit about the history and the mission of Trans Upfront Illinois?
Yeah, absolutely. So Trans Upfront was founded earlier this year in response to this administration. We are an all-volunteer organization made up of trans individuals, or parents of trans individuals, and we serve trans people ages 4 to 25 in their support systems without any financial barrier, meaning all the services we do are free and through the lens of access. So we meet people where they are and in the way that they need so that we know that we're helping uplift their trans kiddos, loved ones, etc. And so we do that through advocacy, through protests, through trainings, you name it. We even founded the Gender Affirming Care Navigation System when the rollbacks for gender affirming care started to ensure that no one is left behind and everyone gets access to the care that they need.
Yeah, and again, not even a year old. This organization.
No, we're going to be 1 year old in March. You're going to come to our birthday party. We're going to have a birthday party.
What?
To turn 1.
When is the birthday party?
It'll be in March. I'll get you the information.
Great.
We'd love to have you and everybody else there because we all need some joy.
Yes.
Right? And so for us, this is truly, we're turning 1. My board keeps joking we're all getting smash cakes. And,
oh, my gosh. That would be brilliant.
Will bibs be passed out, too? For the smash cake?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? I feel like even if someone gave me a bib, it would still be from head to toe.
Right.
And we're going to treat this like, the celebration it should be. Yes, we were founded in light of this administration, but we have really rallied as a community. It's opened so many lines of communication with partnered organizations, with community members, with families. And so even though this administration is trying to fracture us and bring us down, it's really lifted us up and showed us how strong the community here is in Chicago and across the state of Illinois.
Yeah, it really has, and no small part to your leadership. I know I have a couple of friends who are parents of trans kids who have been really grateful to the work that you were doing with Trans Upfront. And every time I'm like, so I'm going to be speaking with Asher, and they're like, oh my gosh, I love them so much. Like you really are, an organization that is providing such valuable services with such a, and doing such great work in such a small amount of time. I do have to say, I tip my hat to you, good friend. Yesterday, you were part of a panel honoring Transgender Day of Remembrance. Can you tell us how did that go, and what does that day mean to you?
Yeah, so the event itself was run by Judge Quinn, who's our only out trans judge in the state, and she approached me for some help on the back-end logistics, but also asked me to sit on this panel with so many incredible people, Reina Ortiz from Task Force, Alexis Martinez from Trans Justice Law Project, and really just came together because Trans Day of Remembrance is all about honoring those that we've lost to violence throughout the last year. Yeah. And we know there are so many still here fighting for their lives, whether that is just the overwhelming fears due to the administration, the uptick in violence from those emboldened in this administration. And we wanted to come together, and Judge Quinn wanted us all to come together to share resources and really make sure that no matter where anyone is and what they need. We had an immigration attorney on the panel. We had, we talked about housing. We talked literally every issue that could impact a trans person or someone supporting a trans person, that they'd be able to walk away with resources, with a next step, with some hope. And so that was the purpose around yesterday, and it was fantastic. We really just felt the community in the room. Even in the heavy conversations, we left with hope, and that's all we could ask for.
Asher, how can everyday people, not just policymakers, support trans youth and disabled trans adults right now? What can they do?
I think step one is just being an active listener and remembering that no two experiences are the same, and showing up. We always say that being an ally is an action word. So what have you done lately? And that could be something, if you have financial means, donate to an organization. It could be showing up to a protest. It could be donating clothing in your closet that you no longer use, jackets, scarves, to Center on Halstead, to Task Force, to Brave Space. I mean, there are so many ways right now we could be showing up for them, and it's really about each person's capacity. We know that this administration is attacking people from all ends, and we want to be aware of where our own personal capacities are as well. And so just making sure that you let your trans friends, family members, know that you're here for them and that you are an ear for them anytime, and ask them what they need, because no two people are going to be the same.
Good advice. Thank you.
Yeah. So, again, Trans Up Front Illinois is still in its first year, conquering the world, which is great. I know you provide an awful lot of services, but there's one that really jumped out to me was the parent and caregiver support groups. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple of months ago, the FBI started making claims that they're going to designate any advocacy groups for trans individuals as hate groups. And we started seeing across the state a huge rollback, or really just closure of support groups for parents and caregivers of trans individuals. And we started getting a slew of messages saying, we need our own community. We're so scared for our kids. And these are parents who may have kids who are 5, or they may have kids who are 35 or 55, right? They're your kids forever. And we know that they're so scared for their young ones or their loved ones, but they need space to be able to process it and not on their children.
Yeah.
And so we have a parent and caregiver advisory board at Trans Up Front. We find that their point of view is incredibly valuable because they're in the community, right? Every day they hear what's needed. And so we created a subcommittee, and they came up with what's called Tough Chat, which stands for Caregivers Helping Affirm Transitions. And so it is a monthly virtual statewide support group. It's an hour and a half. The first 30 minutes, we bring in a resource. In December, it is Legal Counsel for Health Justice, which is behind Illinois Pride Connect. And so one of their attorneys will be able to answer questions for our parents and caregivers about their legal rights to medical access, documents, and be able to talk directly to an attorney who every day does this work. Then after that, they do a full community group where no matter the age of your child, for 30 minutes, you get to share your stories, ask for help, and learn for people who've been through the transitions or in different places than you. And then they go out into breakout rooms based on the age of your child. So 0 to 9, 10 to 13, 14 to 17, 18 and up, because each age bracket really does have its own unique journey. So being able to relate with people that are in the same place that you are. So it gives you the best of all worlds, so that as you're going into this, you're finding your community and you can log in from anywhere in the state. We do have a screening process to make sure there's no bad actors.
Right.
So we know in this administration we have some people who try to do some not great things. So you submit your first name and your email address. One of our volunteers does a quick, 15-minute screening. Make sure you're a real person with a trans youth. And then after that, you get invited into the group. And we're very careful on any information that we save. We really only save your first name and your email address. We even have family who use fake names. They use, throwaway emails because, it's all about your risk aversion. We know this administration is targeting people.
Right.
And so we're just trying to make sure we're still intentionally creating space for those parents, because I'm a parent. I'm a parent of a trans person, and I know I look at my daughter every day, and I'm like, part of the reason I'm doing this is I'm fighting for her, right? I want to make sure that every day she knows that she's going to get access to health care come hell or high water. I mean, my board will tell you that this administration would have to drag me away kicking and screaming before I stop doing this work.
Good for you. Is there anything... What gives you hope right now in the current environment that we're living in, Asher?
We just had our all trans field day, cross-generational, from young trans kids to trans elders, and I watched them run around the field and play kickball. And my heart just melted, because we get so fixated on what this administration is trying to do, but they can't take our joy.
Yeah.
They can't take our community. They can't take our futures. Trans people have always been here, and they'll always be here. And my goal is to make sure that every trans young person grows up to be the incredible trans adult they're supposed to be. And so as I'm going through this journey with these families, with my board members, with community members, with partnered organizations, it really gives me hope. And I said this last night, where so often in the past, I've been doing this for 10 years, advocacy work, all these organizations have kind of, existed on their own parallel planes, right? We don't cross over a whole lot, but I'm seeing more and more cross communication. I'm seeing more and more collaboration. I'm seeing more and more hope, and I'm seeing more and more trans people stand up and say, I want to be part of this, or allies, I want to be part of this, in a way we haven't seen before. And so I feel so much hope for our future, that we will endure the way that we endured in the 60s, in the 70s, 400 years ago, 300, all the playtimes in history that we've had to fight for our rights. I know that history's never been on the side of hate. We're going to endure. We're going to get to the other side, and hopefully make sure every person gets there with us.
Amen to that, Ashley.
I know, and I love the fact that the part of your mission is to really create communities by focusing on joy and creating that joy to help foster connections and to foster a community, because we are stronger together. Again, my hat is off to you. I've doffed so many hats today. And if you want to discover more about Trans Upfront Illinois, maybe make a donation, see how you can volunteer or give of your time and of yourself, head to transupfrontil.com. Asher McMaher, thank you so much for joining us today. Again, thank you for all of the work that you do, and for you, we are truly grateful during this holiday season. A time to remember this. So have a wonderful holiday with you and your family.
You too, and I hope I'm able to speak with you again soon.
Oh, you know it. You know it.